Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Maya Javanika Channam Ajnadokshayam Avyayam Nalakshase Modadrusha Nato Nachadharo Yata.
Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invincible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized.
Tata Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidanadham Katam Pashyema Histriyaham.
You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly?
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cham Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherd men of Vrindavana, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses.
Namah Pankajanaabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye.
My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses.
Yata Hrishikesha Khalena Devaki Kamsen Nirdachitam Tucharpitam Vimohitaham cha Sahatmaja Vibho Tvaijvanatena Muhrivipadhanat.
O Hrishikesha, master of the senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother, Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers.
Vishan Mahagnehe Purushada Darshanat Asasabhaya Vanavasa Pruchataham Mrude Mrude Aneka Maharatasratho Dhaunyashtashashma Hare Bhirakshitaham.
My dear Krishna, your lordship has protected us from a poisoned cave, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashwatthama.
Vipadah Santutaha Shashwat Tatra Tatra Jagadguru Bhavato Darshanam Yatsyat Apunarbhava Darshanam.
I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. But seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths.
Janmaishwarya Sutasibihi Yedamana Madahpuman Naivaharati Abhitatum Bhai Twamakinchana Gocharam.
My lord, your lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of progress, trying to improve himself with a respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling.
Namo Kinchana Vittaya Nivrutta Gunavruttaye Atma Ramaya Shantaya Kaivalya Pataye Namaha.
My obeisances are unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with the actions and reactions of the material modes of nature. You are self satisfied, and therefore you are the most gentle and are master of the monists.
Manye Tvam Kalamishanam Anadinidanam Vibhum Samam Charantam Sarvatra Bhutanam Inmitah Kalihe.
My lord, I consider your lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, the all pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse.
न वेद कश्चित् भगवन् चिकीर्षितं तवेह मानस्य नृणां विडम्बनं न यस्य कश्चित् दैतोऽसि कर्षेत् द्वेषेऽस्मिन् विषमामति नृणाम्.
O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and so are misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial.
जन्म कर्म च विश्वात्मन् अजस्या कर्तुरात्मनः तिर्यक् नृषिषु यादसु तदत्यन्त विडम्बनम्.
Of course, it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work, though you are inactive, and that you take birth, though you are the vital force and the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering.
गोप्यादरे त्वयि कृतागसि दाम तावत् या ते दशाश्रुकलिलाञ्जनसम्भ्रमाक्षम् वक्त्रं निनीय भवावनेशस्य सा मां विमोहिति भेरपि यद्भिभेति.
My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes, and you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me.
केचिदाहुरजं जातं पुण्यश्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदोः प्रियस्य अन्ववाये मलस्येव चन्दनम्.
Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appear in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malaya Hills.
अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वमस्य क्षेमाय वदाय च सुरद्विषम्.
Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods.
भारावतारणायान्ये भुवो नाव इवो दधौ सीदिञ्च भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मभुवदितः.
Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि कर्षन्निति केचन.
And yet others say that you appeared to rejuvenate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation.
शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति विघ्नशः स्मरन्ति नन्दन्ति तवेहितं जनाः त एव पश्यन्ति अचिरेण तावकं भवप्रवाहो परमं पदाम्बुजम्.
Oh Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, wonderful, wonderful recitations. Thank you very much. I'm just looking on the participants list, and I think Prabhuji has not joined us yet. So may I invite Shailash Prabhu, please, to recite the Mangalacharan prayer while waiting for Manu Prabhu to join us. Hare Krishna, Shailash Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, yes, give me
Thank
1
you.
second. Yeah, give me 1 second.
Sure. Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Shrinvatam Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Vidayantasto Hyabadrani Vidunoti Suratsatam Nashtaye Prashmya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakatir Bhavati Naishtiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayet Kirim Yatripatam Aham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Yatripatam Aham Vande Paramanandam Madhavam Om Jnana Tirimandascha Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurue Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Sri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Sri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Prananami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadadaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Manu Prabhu has still not joined us. He did say he will join us shortly. So what would you suggest? Shall we do some Maha Mantra while waiting for Prabhuji to join us?
If you wouldn't mind just leading that, I've just stopped my service of my deities to do the Mangalacharan. So if you could carry on, then I can finish my my service of my deities.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, dear devotees, while waiting for Manu Prabhu to join us, I'll just, Manu Prabhu has joined us. Here he is. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I saw his name a minute ago. We'll just give him a couple of minutes to join us. Hare Krishna, Manu Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just to let you know that Sailash Prabhu has just recited the preliminary prayers.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, my apologies. I just came from work and tried to set up the laptop. Thank you for being patient. It's 1834 today. Okay. Let's share the screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Eva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Shrivatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Yavadrani Vidunoti Suhirsadam Nashtaprayesu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So we're reading from chapter 34, chapter 8, verse number 34 of Canto 1. Bharavataranayanye bhuvo nava ibodadau. Bharavataranayanye bhuvo nava ibodadau. Siddhantaya bhuri bharena jato hi atma bhuvarati titaha. Bharavataranayanye bhuvo nava ivo dadhau. Siddhantaya bhuri bharena jato hi atma bhuvaratitha. Bharavataranayanye bhuvo nava ivo dadhau. Siddhantaya bhuri bharena jato hi atma bhuvartitha. Synonyms: Bhara avataranya, just to reduce the burden to the world. Anye, others. Bhuva, of this world. Nava, boat. Iva, like. Udadhau, on the sea. Siddhantayaha, aggrieved. Bhuri, extremely. Bharena, by the burden. Jataha, you were born. He, certainly. Atma Bhuva, by Brahma. Arthita, being prayed for. Translation: others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Brahma, or the first living being born just after the creation, is the direct son of Narayan. Narayan, as Garbhodakshay Vishnu, first of all entered the material universe. Without spiritual contact, matter cannot create. This principle was followed from the very beginning of the creation. Supreme Spirit entered the universe, and the first living being, Brahma, was born on a lotus flower grown out of the transcendental abdomen of Vishnu. Vishnu is therefore known as Padmanabha. Brahma is known as Atmabhu because he was begotten directly from the father without any contact of mother, Lakshmiji. Lakshmiji was present near Narayan, engaged in the service of the Lord, and still, without contact with Lakshmiji, Narayan begot Brahma. That is the omnipotency of the Lord. One who foolishly considers Narayan like other living beings should take a lesson from this. Narayan is not an ordinary living being. He is the personality of Godhead himself, and he has all the potencies of all the senses in all parts of his transcendental body. An ordinary living being begets a child by sexual intercourse, and he has no other means to beget a child other than the one designed for him. But Narayan, being omnipotent, is not bound to any condition of energy. He is complete and independent to do anything and everything by his various potencies, very easily and perfectly. Brahma is therefore directly the son of the Father and was not put into the womb of a mother. Therefore, he is known as Atma Bhu. This Brahma is in charge of further creations in the universe, secondarily reflected by the potency of the omnipotent. Within the halo of the universe, there is a transcendental planet known as Shvetadvip, which is the abode of Chirodakshai Vishnu, the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Lord. Whenever there is trouble in the universe that cannot be solved by the administrative demigods, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. And if it is not to be solved even by Brahmaji, then Brahmaji consults and prays to Chirodakshai Vishnu for an incarnation and solution to the problems. Such a problem arose when Kamsa and others were ruling over the earth, and earth became too much overburdened by the misdeeds of the Asuras. Brahmaji, along with the other demigods, prayed at the shore of Chirodaka ocean, and they were advised of the descent of Krishna as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. So, some people say that the Lord appeared because of the prayers of Brahmaji. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamniti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunvat Parshatve Shetari Bharavatara Nayane Na Anye Bhuvo Nava Evo Dadhau Siddhantaya Bhuri Bharena Jato Yatma Bhuvarthitaha. So we are reading the prayers of Mother Kunti. And this chapter continues on. It's entitled Prayers of Mother Kunti. We understood that Mother Kunti is a very special personality, a personality which has shined in her devotion service, in her faith, in her determination in service to Lord Krishna. Although Lord Krishna was like her son or nephew like her son, age, but at the same time, she is able to see Supreme Personality of Godhead in him and able to worship him in that sense. She is continuously praying the glories of Lord. That's what happens when we come in contact with someone who is far more superior than we can even think of. Then we get inspired. We get inspired to ask questions, to go nearby that person, to ask questions, to glorify that person if we know them well, glorify their quality, to glorify the favors that they have done to us, if we have a relationship with them, to tell the world that how this person has been so wonderful to us and how this person is so capable. He goes out of the way to help me, to help us. He is always there for us, isn't it? That's how we always introduce many of our good friends or uncles or people who have been nurturing us, whether materially, spiritually. We always tend to introduce such persons like this. So when this Uttara's womb was saved, Parikshit was saved by Lord Krishna in a very mystical way, like nobody could see. Just so Mother Kunti was praying and saying that Krishna, if you go away from this kingdom of Hastinapur, then what is my hope? These calamities are coming over and over again. And because of those calamities, Krishna, due to your kindness, you are always protecting us in those calamities. And therefore, to protect us, you're having to be present before us. And your darshan, your presence is so auspicious that anything and everything that troubles us in terms of mental anxieties, material tribulations, everything seems to vanish and everything becomes nice, peaceful, and we become jolly and happy, even in the most dreadful situations of life. Krishna, you are so amazing. Krishna, you are so powerful. You are so attractive. You are so devoted, always wanting to protect your devotees. Achyuta. So, like this, Mother Kunti is continuously praying shlok after shlok. These prayers are coming from a heart of a pure devotee. And now we have to really understand the essence of this. Please excuse me for a moment. Sorry for that. These prayers are coming from the heart of a pure devotee, and we can see how a pure devotee is able to perceive the Lord. In this particular verse, now she's trying to trying to glorify Krishna in such a way that we can relate to Krishna. There are two types of relationship with Krishna. One, the relationship is that Krishna, the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, who appeared on the planet Earth, who killed Kamsa, who killed Agasura, who was in Vrindavan, who came to Mathura, and so to get rid of this burden on earth, Kamsa, etc. So we all know the pastimes. That's one relationship that we can have. Other way to see Krishna is in a hierarchy of Godhead. In that hierarchy, as we understand, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then for a particular universe, there are appointed administrators, so to say. Of the top of them, administrators is Brahma. He's the top of the administrators. Then there are Lord Shiva. Then there are Lord Shiva, Indra, Vayu, Chandra, Surya, Shiva, Bhavani. There are demigods and demigoddesses, which are taking care of the material universes. Now, a conditioned soul has limited visibility. I'm talking about those who are yet not devotees or do not have grip onto scriptures. They see the world in a very different way. They see as if this world is running on its own, and of them there are plenty who are who are those who do not follow the law of God. And in such circumstances, when their sinful activities are too many, Mother Earth is not able to take the burden of those people. So these people are unable to relate to Krishna in either of the ways, neither that Krishna is God, he is in a hierarchy of God, that he is the supreme, and nor in a way that they see Krishna not as a God, but they see Krishna as ordinary person. So Mother Kunti is particularly bringing Lord Brahma here in this verse, because Lord Brahma is a post. It is a post. But this post is given to someone who is qualified for the post. Lord Brahma is a living entity who has been promoted in the affairs of administration to the topmost position. It's beautifully described by Srila Prabhupada, and we have also discussed in our sessions many times that Lord Brahma is the secondary creator. And the birth of Lord Brahma, because he is born out of the navel of Vishnu. He is born out of the navel of Vishnu. Therefore, He is called Atmabhu. And Vishnu is called Padmanabha. So these are unfathomable things for those who are non-believers. But this is how scriptures are presenting to us. So we see that Lord Brahma is born out of the navel of Vishnu, and this is the Vishnu who is in the material world. Shwetadeepa, Vishnu. Now, whenever there's a calamity, there's an issue, there's a problem which cannot be resolved even by Lord Brahma, then they all reach out to Lord Vishnu. That's how it happens. So when they reach out to Lord Vishnu, there's awe and reverence. There's so much awe and reverence. This Brahmaji is not an ordinary personality. We all know, and we have been discussing that there are 4 yugas. And in those 4 yugas, Brahma lives his 100 years, and here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning Brahma lives 100 such years. 4 yugas rotating 1,000 times comprises 1 day of Brahma, and the same number comprises 1 night of Brahma. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. So anybody who's subjected to birth and death is a conditioned soul, because he has been given a body. A body given to Lord Brahma is a special body which can survive so much longer. But the body given to an ant is a small body who will survive for a couple of days or maybe a couple of hours sometimes. But this is Lord Brahma. He lives 100 years by earth calculation, total to 311 trillion and 40 billion earthly years. By these calculations, life of Brahma is fantastic and interminable. But from the viewpoint of eternity, it is brief as a lightning flash. So when it is said from viewpoint of eternity, from the viewpoint of Krishna, Krishna is eternal, his abodes are eternal, spiritual world is eternal, and Lord Brahma is in material world, living trillions of years. So human beings like us, we average out in Kali Yuga between 80 to 100 years. For us, Lord Brahma is like God, but Lord Brahma has a person that he approaches, and that person is Lord Vishnu or Krishna. And there, when he reaches there, in abode of Vishnu, then he offers his prayers. He offers his prayers, like Mother Kunti is offering prayer to Krishna here. Brahmaji is offering prayer to Krishna. And there's a whole chapter dedicated about the prayers of Lord Brahma to Krishna. And now in these prayers, we again see the Srimad Bhagavatam has a lot of prayers, lot of prayers. Many times we would hear these prayers again and again, and we would learn how to offer prayers to Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the only thing that you can do when you see Supreme Personality of Godhead in such relationships is you offer prayers, because it will naturally occur in our hearts. That is the impact of darshan of Krishna. Because of his purifying potency, the Vedic knowledge gets awakened in the heart of dormant living entity. Just like Dhruv Maharaj, when he was praying, and when finally Krishna appeared before him, when Krishna touched his conch shell on the head of Dhruv Maharaj, straight away Dhruv Maharaj started glorifying Krishna in highest of the Vedic Shastras. And so we see that when you come in contact with great personalities, and when you come in contact with Krishna, you glorify them. And these glorifications are coming from the heart and our prayers. So Lord Brahma is glorifying Krishna, and he's continuously emphasizing on the points that Krishna, you cannot be known. Now Lord Brahma is saying that you cannot be known. You are worshipable Lord. You have appeared as son of Nanda Maharaj and playing in Braja, and you are very difficult to understand. You're not ordinary personality. You cannot be even understand what to talk about conditioned souls. The yogis who are on the path of speculation, the non-devotees, will never be able to realize your personal features. They will never be realize what to talk about realizing expansions of the impersonal supreme. And the philosophers, they would keep speculating. They will never be able to, they can count the atoms on the earth and the particles of the snow. That's what Lord Brahma is saying. Even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars and other illuminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you? So like this, Lord Brahma is offering prayers. He's clearly mentioning that, Lord, you cannot be understood by anyone except one way. He is mentioned in the beginning, except one way, which is devotional service. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path of self-realization. If someone gives up the path and engages in the cultivation speculative knowledge, which is your Gyan Marg, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired results. So as the person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grains, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. So like that, he's also glorifying Krishna in the similar way. And we see the similarity in all these prayers. Like Mother Kunti is also saying, you are unborn, a Janma. Similarly, Lord Brahma is saying, you have no material birth. You have no material birth. So Prabhupada is also mentioning in the purport that Lord does not take material birth like other people do. Even Lord Brahma has not taken birth like other people do through the mixing of or coming together of man and woman. Rather, Lord Brahma is born out of the navel. And this way we can see that how Lord Brahma is exceptionally special. And his ways of taking birth are very different. Still, he's subjected to the life of birth and death. So just like Mother Kunti, he's also saying, my dear Lord, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desires remain thieves. Their home remains prisons, and their affectionate feeling for their family members remains foot shackles. And Lord Krishna, you have nothing to do with material existence. You come to this earth to bring enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. So the essence of these verses is actually giving us a direction that it's giving us a perspective, bottom down hierarchy level. Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Brahmaji, and all of the others, and then finally Mother Earth, on which we are sitting. She is personified and represented by a mother, which is Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi. And when she's burdened, she reaches out to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma reaches out to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu then gives solutions. Either he's coming or he's resolving the problems in one way or the other. In this case, he promised that he'll appear as Krishna and he will destroy all these burdens, all these people who are creating burden on the material, on the earth, on the planet Earth. So that's the hierarchy there. At the same time, the main objective of the Lord to appear on the planet is to give devotional service, is to give opportunity to awaken or to give higher taste of devotional service to the conditioned souls and to give enjoyment to those devotees who are already perfected their lives. It is said that those devotees who will be able to profound devotional service to the level of perfection, which is anya abhilashita sunyam, no other desires, material desires, not even a tinge of material desires. If they perfect their life like this, I was hearing a Prabhupada tape, it says that these devotees will be given a chance to appear on somewhere
Hare Krishna.
I can't hear.
Hare Krishna. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
Mataji,
hear.
we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
hear
we
you.
can
we
hear you,
can
but we can't hear.
again. Prabhuji, I think has some maybe problem with
Or
Wi-Fi.
it's
I
with
don't know.
his internet, yeah. Okay, I will call him now.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Sorry, there was a technical issue. We are almost concluding now. So basically, we were talking about Krishna's incarnations are plenty. And for us as a sadhaka, it is an opportunity for us to somehow or the other follow the footsteps of great devotees of the Lord. Mm. Aspire to follow the footsteps of great devotees of the Lord, such as Mother Kunti, and understand the deeper mood and essence of her prayers that she's offering to Krishna. That will give us aspiration, that will give us hope, that will give us ambition, that will give us our goal of life. Many times we may forget in the affairs of day-to-day maintenance of the body and everything else around the body, we may get very busy and we may forget. But these Shastra prayers are helping us to put our life into perspective, that this is the goal of life, and this is how we can also perfect our lives in the footsteps of these great devotees. So I'll stop here for now. If there are comments or questions, we can have a discussion on that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanava Pranam, Suresh Prabhat. Thank you for a wonderful class. Just a quick one, Prabhuji, you should probably just clarify. You mentioned earlier that Lord Brahma is the highest, and then comes Lord Shiva, etc. Obviously, it's a class on its own, Lord Shiva Tattva, but Lord Shiva actually sits in relative terms above Lord Brahma, because he is Krishna directly. There is obviously a tattva whole behind it, but you should probably just explain that Lord Shiva, although he appears as a son of Brahma, actually sits higher than Lord Brahma. He's not part of the material world. He sits in between the material and spiritual worlds. I think you perhaps just want to clarify that.
Sure, yes. So thank you for bringing that point up. As I mentioned, Lord Brahma is the living entity promoted to a very special position. Lord Shiva is not a living entity altogether. Lord Shiva is a tattva on his own. Is called Shiva tattva. So Lord Krishna has two major energies: internal, external, and there is one which is the tatastha energy, marginal energy. Now, when Lord Krishna is indirectly, definition of internal energy is that Lord Krishna directly interacts with that energy, which is represented by Radha, Srimati Radharani. So Lord Krishna is directly interacting with the internal energy. But the definition of the external energy is that Lord Krishna does not interact directly with that energy. It is like chaya, shadow. When we have our shadow, we are unable to interact. Like right now, I can see my shadow here on the laptop. I can't interact with my shadow directly. So material energy is considered to be like shadow. She's represented by Mother Durga. And to interact with that material energy, Lord Krishna transforms himself into what we know as Lord Shiva. The analogy that Srila Prabhupada has given, that milk can be transformed into yogurt. You can't then convert yogurt back to milk, although both of them are same things. Ingredients are same, but still they are two different things. Similarly, Lord Shiva is therefore different, and he appears in the material world as a son of Lord Brahma, appearing from the forehead when Lord Brahma is angry. So Rudra appears. When he appears in the material world like this, he takes a very special position. He takes the position of the controller of mode of ignorance. He is not mode of ignorance. He is Suddha Sattva. But he takes the position as a controller of mode of ignorance. Lord Vishnu takes the position of controller of Lord of goodness, and Brahmaji, he takes the position as a creator, the controller of mode of passion. Now, Lord Shiva is direct responsibility is of one of destruction, and he's very easily pleased, and therefore you will see that people who want a lot of material opulences reach out to him, and without discrimination, he feels obliged to give them benedictions like that. So that's the distinction between Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Shiva is a very different tattva altogether. Vishnu, we all understand, is Krishna himself, and Shiva is in the tattvas of beyond this conditioned soul tattvas. He's Shiva tattva himself. I hope that elaborates something. If you want to add a little bit, you can, Prabhu.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. It's a very good synopsis, because Shiva Tattva can take a couple of classes on its own, to be honest. So yeah, no, thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Okay. If there's any other question or comment, we can take it. Otherwise, Hare Krishna. Okay. If there's none, then I beg your leave. Yes, you want to speak something, Kanta Mataji?
Just said Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
Hare
Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Amazing.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for